Welcome, yogis, to this gentle yoga class where we'll be focusing on the upper part of the body. Our focus will be from our crown of the head all the way down until the hips, and we're going to move energy from the crown of the head down into our heart space. We'll be practicing this practice, our yoga shoulder flow. We'll be focusing on releasing tension in the back of the head and into our neck. And we'll also be focusing on our spine and movement of the spine. At the end of the practice, we'll have a beautiful heart chakra meditation. So we're going to start in a seated position. You're very welcome to sit on top of a block. We're going to be here for a little bit. So if you find it uncomfortable in your hips, your knees, or your ankles, then please use a block so you can elevate into the hips, creating much more comfort. Just making sure that the position you're in is comfortable for you. We're trying to release the knees down in the direction of the ground, but not building up any tension into your hips. If you find a cross-legged position uncomfortable, you're also very welcome to fold your legs back, just like this. Maybe that feels more comfortable. Or if you find it more comfortable to have your feet together and your knees out to the side in your angle pose, then you can do that as well. So whatever kind of feels best for you. We're going to start in today's practice with our shoulder flow, creating opening into the chest, into the shoulders themselves. So interlacing your fingers to get started and then push your hands away and just feel here by rounding the spine, pushing your palms of your hands forward. Just feel into your spine and feel what is there. You're welcome to let your head hang down if that feels good. And then on your inhalation, reaching your arms up overhead and find a nice lift now into the front of the body. We're going to move through these motions first slowly, and then twice we're going to move through it in a flow with our breath. Taking a deep breath here into your chest. On your exhalation, find a nice twist out over to the right side. Your left hand can land onto your left thigh. Your right hand can go behind you onto the ground. Now the main focus here is to maintain the length in your spine. So feel how the crown of the head reaches up. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale fully. Your next inhalation reaches your backhand up and over your head in a side stretch, opening up into the right side of the body. Just feel how far sideways you can go. And then release your hand onto your opposite knee or thigh. Keep your elbows crossed and just let your head hang down. Rounding into the spine. Feel that beautiful stretch in between the shoulder blades. From here, keeping your elbows crossed, we're going to bring the hands onto the shoulders, giving ourselves a nice big hug, and then reaching your elbows up towards the ceiling. Taking a deep breath in here, stay in your hug, and then round yourself forward. The elbows sink down direction of your belly button, stretching through the back of the shoulders, the upper part of the back. Let your head hang down, creating space in the back of the neck. Your inhalation reaches you back up, opens up your arms out to the side and then towards the back of the mat. Keep on reaching and opening. Feel the lift in your chest. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale fully. Your inhalation makes a big circle forward. Interlaces your hands, press through the palms, and let your head hang down again. Your inhalation reaches you up. And the exhalation twists you over, this time to the left side. Feel that movement in the spine, the lift in the spine. Keep on reaching and lengthening. It really doesn't matter how much you twist. What is important that you keep that lift in the spine. Taking a deep breath in here. Exhaling fully. And then on your inhalation, bring your back hand, your left hand, up over your head, coming to the side stretch. Feeling here into the left side of the body. Just noticing what is there, and then release your hand on your opposite leg, anywhere where you feel you can reach. Let your head hang down. Keep on holding on with your hands to your legs, and reach your shoulders up. Get that beautiful stretch in the space in between the shoulder blades, the back of your heart. Keep your elbows crossed. Give yourself a big hug. Bring your hands onto your shoulders, and lift your elbows high up, opening up into the front of your chest, your belly area. And on the exhalation, bow yourself down. Let your head hang down. Now the elbows move in the direction of your belly button. Getting that beautiful stretch, opening into the back. Your next inhalation reaches you a big circle with your hand back towards the back of your mat. Take a deep breath in here. Exhaling fully. The inhalation is a big circle forward. Interlace your fingers, pushing through your palms. Let your head hang down, reaching forward. And your inhale reaches you up. We're going to find a flow now with our breath. This is more moving meditation than anything to do with your body. So just go with the movement and make them nice and fluid. And stay within the range of motion that feels good for you. So on your inhale, reach your arms up. On the exhale, find your twist to the right. Inhale, your backhand goes up and over, find that side stretch, and then continue on landing your hand. Exhale, let your head hang down, press your shoulders up towards the ceiling. Inhale, give yourself a big hug and reach your elbows up towards the ceiling, opening up towards the sky. On the exhalation, grounding down towards the earth, belly button, and elbows meet. Inhale, coming up, big circle, opening up the energy through the front of your heart, exhaling here fully. Inhale, big circle forward, interlacing your fingers, let your head hang down, push through the palms. Inhale, reach up, lengthen into the front of the body. On the exhalation, twist over to the left side. Your inhale brings your backhand up and over, a big rainbow all the way over to your opposite leg. Land your hand on the exhalation, press your shoulders up towards the ceiling. Inhale, give yourself a big hug. The elbows are still crossed as much as possible. Reach up. On the exhalation, bow down. On your inhale, opening all the way up. Big circle, allowing the energy to move into your heart space. Exhaling here. Inhale, big circle forward. Interlace your fingers, push through the palms, let your head hang down, exhale fully. Inhale reaches you up. Do this one more time. Exhale, twist over to the right side. Inhale, your backhand makes this big rainbow all the way around, landing your hand. Exhale, let your head hang down and press the back of your heart space up towards the sky. Inhale, give yourself a big hug. Reach your elbows up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, big opening. Reaching your arms behind you and exhaling here fully. Next, inhale, big circle forward. Interlacing through your fingers. Push your palms away. Inhale, reach all the way up. And exhale, find your twist over to the left side. Inhale, big rainbow arm all the way around, landing on your opposite leg. Exhale, let your head hang down and then push your shoulders up. Inhale, give yourself a big hug, elbows up in the direction of the sky. Exhale, bow it down, elbows down, direction of the earth. Inhale, coming all the way up, opening up into the front of the heart space. Exhaling here fully. Inhale, big circle forward. Interlace your fingers. Exhale, pushing the hands away. Let your head hang down, bowing down. Inhale, reach all the way up. On the exhale, release your hands down onto your knees. Have your palms facing up. Taking a moment here, and I know that the moment you find this stillness, your mind will tell you that there's a need to change your position. See if you can resist that. See if you can just be with whatever there is here at the end of this shoulder flow. Connect into the shoulders themselves, into the upper part of your back. Feel the sensations in your chest, in your heart space. Creating this firm understanding here that you're doing this yoga practice just for yourself. There is no other reason. This is you time. This is you energy. So at each time that you do your practice, and with each pose, with each asana that you do, just realize that the reason you're doing it is for you. You have nothing to prove. You just have to connect to your body, to your mind, to your breath. Taking a deep breath in here, and on your exhalation, letting your head hang down. When you feel ready, opening your eyes if you had your eyes closed. And just check in for a moment, see how you feel, see what is there. And then releasing your hands down onto the ground. We're slowly straightening our legs out. Now you might meet a little bit of tightness there. So take your time and look after your knees. If you're sitting on a block or a bolster, coming off the block or the bolster. And then once your legs are down, bring your hands down onto the ground. Lean into your hands while you gently tap through the backs of the legs. So pressing the backs of the knees down onto the ground, letting go of any tension. And letting go of tension in your feet, making some circles with your ankles, releasing tension. And then pointing your toes all the way down to the ground and pressing the backs of the legs into the ground. And then flexing your feet, pulling your toes all the way back. Pushing both your feet away from each other and then move them towards each other. And then slowly releasing. We just want to find a bit of movement into our spine. So if you feel that when you're sitting like this, that it takes a lot of effort to sit in an upright position, feel free to grab your block again and sit onto your block so that you don't feel that you have to put any effort in. It's really quite okay if your hamstrings are a little bit tight. You might feel that you fall back. So use your block just to make sure that you find comfort into this pose. On your inhalation, reach your arms all the way up. On the exhalation, we're just folding ourselves forward. So there's a rounding into the spine. There's no reaching. There's no pushing. On your inhalation, reach up. Maybe interlock your thumbs to reach a little bit higher. And on your exhalation, round yourself back out in front. Now know that your practice is just for you. So feel into your body. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, folding. If your legs slightly bend when you go forward, just let that happen. Inhale, reach. Exhale, going forward. Feel that movement in the spine, the rounding when you go forward. And then when you lift up, there's this lift, a little bit of an arch maybe. Exhale, going forward. Staying now here in your forward position. Now change your gaze so that it's more towards your toes than that it is towards your knees. This is always a good moment to see if your nail polish is still good on your toes. So keep on reaching and lengthening and inspecting your toes. And you can pull your toes back and push through the balls of the feet if you like to intensify a little bit more. Your toes are now little spectators watching you while you're watching them. Keep on reaching and pushing forward now, lengthening the front of the body a little bit more. And then slowly release on your inhalation, coming back up, reach. On the exhalation, fold forward. We're going to add on. Now, if you feel that this is enough for you, then you're very welcome to just stay here. You lift and lower over your legs. If you'd like to add on, we're going to roll over the spine. Now, if you know that your spine is a little bit sensitive or you have a very firm floor underneath, feel free to use a blanket behind you. Otherwise, on your inhalation, reaching up. Now, on the exhalation, we're rounding the spine. You can bend your legs or you can keep them straight. When you lift them up, maybe your feet stay up over your hips. Maybe you can bring them over further. On your inhalation, reversing. So we're using the weight of our legs to swing us up. Have a lift first. And on the exhalation, fold yourself forward and down. So do that a couple of times. So inhale, reaching up, lengthening into the front of the body. Then shorten the front of the body when you slowly roll up. Maybe your feet stay over your hips. Maybe you swing your hips up. And then inhale, coming back up, using the weight of your hands. It's not a core exercise. Exhale, going forward and down. Now this can look super elegant, or it can feel really quite hard and you might feel a little bit stuck. Now, don't be attached to what you think it looks like. Just feel into your spine. It is so beneficial to roll over the spine. Very good to do every morning when you get out of bed. So inhale, reaching up. Exhale, rolling back. Inhale, coming back up. Find that nice little lift before you fold forward. And we do this one more time. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, rolling. Swinging your legs just as far as you feel is good. Using the weight of the legs to lift you up. Find that little lift before you fold forward. Now, once you're forward, stay there for a moment. You're welcome to rest your elbows onto your knees or your hands onto your knees. Taking a moment here to check in, to feel into the shoulders. Exhale here fully on the inhalation, slowly coming up. We're going to move now into our head and into our neck. So often we hold a lot of tension into our neck and into our head. As we do in our shoulders, we release into the shoulders. Now we're going to release into the neck and the head. So you're welcome to come to a cross-legged seated position. You're welcome to use a block or a bolster to sit onto. It's not really about the position of your hips or the height that you're sitting on. You can also do this in a chair, perfectly fine. We're just going to work now onto the head and the neck. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to let the head hang. And once it's hanging, we're shaking the head like we're saying no. The right ear goes up to the ceiling and then the left ear goes up to the ceiling. Feel that movement in the back of the neck. And then from a shaking of the head, we go to a rolling of the head. So now the right ear goes to the right shoulder. And then the left ear goes to the left shoulder, like we're making a little half circle or maybe even less than half a circle. Feel here into the back of the neck and make sure that while you're working on the neck that you're not building up any tension in the shoulders. If this feels really good, you can make the circle a little bit bigger, making sure that you're not building up any tension. And if it feels still good, you're welcome to go all the way around, being very mindful here. We're trying to make the biggest circle and the roundest circle possible, but that doesn't mean it is very big or very round. So just feel here into the neck, into your head, into your shoulders. And once you've made, if you're making a circle, once you've gone in one direction, a couple of circles, then change it around when you feel ready. Being very mindful when you change the circle around, that you maybe start a little bit smaller, allowing the neck here to release. And then when you feel ready, you let your head hang down and you shake your head a couple of times like you're saying no again. Keep your chin slightly tucked in so that the back of the neck remains really long. Then let your head hang, interlace your fingers and rest your hands on the back of your head. Now release your arms and use the weight of your hands, the arms, to gently push into the head. And now the head is going to meet that pressure. So the head is pressing into the hands and the arms are just hanging off the head. Keep on tucking your chin in so the back of the neck is long. And now with your thumbs, gently massage the back of the neck. So we've exposed these small muscles, the muscles that have a big job of holding your head up. And so gently all the way from the earlobes to the middle of the neck, give yourself a little bit of a massage, pushing the thumbs into any tense or sensitive areas. These muscles, or tension in these muscles, is often a cause for headaches, but also for insomnia. And this is a beautiful way to just release it and to let go. And then when you feel ready, you release your hands back down onto your legs. Check in for a moment with your neck, maybe find a little bit of movement. And then slowly bring your head in an upright position and move now your head from side to side, right ear to right shoulder, left ear to left shoulder. Feeling that stretch all the way from the back of the ear moving into the tip of the shoulder. And the next time when your head is up, keep it upright and then look over your right shoulder and look over your left shoulder. Twisting into the back of the neck and just feel here any differences between the right and the left. Become aware of any tension, any tightness. You can move faster or you can move slower. And then keep your head in neutral position. Bring your hands in a Anjali mudra in front of your chest. Now slide your hands up so that your thumbs are still resting on your sternum, but your index fingers are touching your chin. So from here, we're moving our head forward and then back. So pushing it all the way forward, this is not our most intelligent look. And then pressing it all the way back, also not very smart. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, pushing it back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Now keep it tucking back, so the back of the neck is really long. Keep your index fingers onto your chin. Now we're going to reach the head up, but we do that while we're still tucking the chin in. So we're tucking the chin and we're looking up. Once we feel we can't move any further, we give our head a little shake, and then we're going to come back down. So we're going to do that again, lifting up, shaking your head gently, and then bring it back. This is a beautiful way to release any nerves that might be caught into the back of the neck. So the chin needs to be tucked still, so you have that feeling of the neck being pressed back towards the wall or the space behind you. And then the next time when you're back up, release your hands, looking over your right shoulder. Bring your left hand onto your right knee and find a nice twist into the spine, releasing any tension in the back that you might have created. And then release to a neutral position, look over your left shoulder. Bring your right hand onto your left leg and release here the spine over to the left. And then release. Bring your hands down and straightening your legs out and gently tapping the backs of the legs down into the ground, releasing any tension. We're going to find a connection next into our skin. So we're going to do some tapping. So we bring the feet together like this. Again, you're welcome to sit onto a block or a bolster or onto your chair. We're going to either use the tips of the fingers or we're going to use the knuckles. We're connecting into the skin. The skin is the biggest organ of our body. So we're starting with the crown of the head. You're welcome to close your eyes or to keep your eyes open. And we're gently tapping here into the top of the head and then all the way through the skull. There's nothing really to it. Whatever feels good for you. You can do both hands at the same time or one hand and then the other. Tapping just as firmly as you feel is good for you. Moving into the forehead and gently tapping into the forehead and around your eyes and into your cheeks. And tapping around your mouth and your nose and into your jawline. And then tapping down into the throat. And into the back of the neck and the side of the neck. Into that space that we just massaged gently with our hands. Tapping into the back of the neck, towards the tips of the shoulders as much as you can. Reaching the elbows up so that the hands can travel down a little bit. And then moving into the left arm. And tapping maybe now with your knuckles, gently through the upper arm and then down. Making sure that you're not tapping into bony parts, just to not hurt yourself. Tapping all the way into the hand, the fingers, and tapping your way back up. And through your chest over towards your right arm and tapping there into the back of the shoulder and the upper arm and down into your forearm, your wrist into the hand, the back of the hand, the front of the hand, the fingers, and then making your way back up when you feel ready into your chest, tapping here as much as you can. Feel that sensation into the chest and then into the lower rib cage, in the side of the ribs. And then more gentle into the belly area, only as firmly as you feel is right for you. Into your waist, your side body, and then slowly making your way into your lower back, maybe rounding yourself forward a little bit to find a little bit more reach. Only reaching as high up as you can, not putting strain into the shoulders, and down into your buttocks. Feel that the bigger the muscles that we're tapping into, the more force we can use, the nicer it feels. So the outside of your hips, and then leaning back maybe a little bit into the front of the hips, and the inside, and then moving towards the knees and the inside of the thighs, and the tops of the thighs. Just giving yourself a nice pummeling here. outside of the legs and the back of the legs into your hamstrings. And then down into your calves, backs of the calves. And opening your knees up again so that you can tap into the insides of the calves. Down into your heels. And then the bottom of your feet, the soles of your feet, the insteps, feels really quite nice. And around your toes and the tops of the feet, being gentle there. And then slowly tapping your way back up until your hands are on the top of your legs. And then rest your hands down, maybe onto your knees, maybe down onto the ground. And just sit for a moment and feel your whole skin. Feel the after effects of the tapping. And become aware that you can feel your skin in each part of your body at the same time. Often we see our skin as the end of our body and maybe the end of ourselves. It's the separation between the world and us, the physical separation. It's the biggest organ in our body. So just feel into this space, feel what is there. And then we'll slowly, slowly releasing again, bringing your hands back and stepping the backs of the knees down. Letting go of any tension here. And moving your legs out to the side. We're going to come into a tabletop position. So once we're there, let your head hang down, making sure that your hands, your wrists are underneath your shoulders, that your knees are underneath your hips, making sure that you feel nice and stable. And then from there, we're going to just find some free movement. Anything goes, moving from side to side, forward and backwards, circles. You can make really small movements or really big movements. Just feel here in all your joints. Feel how you're connected down into the earth through your hands and your knees. Just feel all the sensations in your spine, becoming aware of tension that you might be holding. Keep on reaching and lengthening into your body, just noticing what is there. And then slowly coming to a neutral position. And once you are in your neutral position, bringing your hands so that your fingers are pointing out to the sides of your mat. And gently rock yourself from side to side, working now more into the wrists and into the hands themselves. So feel how you transfer the weight from side to side. And feel that when you move over to the right, that you push your left hand into the ground and the other way around. So the movement is initiated from pressing your hand down. Coming to a neutral position, bringing your hands together now so that the wrists are touching, spreading your fingers really wide, and then make circles around your wrist. So feel now how the weight is being transferred through each one of your knuckles. The wrists can be totally together or they can be slightly apart, changing the direction if you feel that that is good. And feel that movement of the weight pressing down through each one of the knuckles as you go around. And now from here, we're going to turn the hands even further around. And we're lifting and lowering the hands up, just like a cat does. So just massaging here the ground. Feel any sensation in the wrist. Maybe your fingers are pointing all the way back. Maybe they're pointing more out to the side. You should feel a stretch in the inside of the wrists. And then once you feel a little bit more warmth in your wrist, tuck your toes under and gently rock yourself forward and backwards. So the palms of the hands can just come off the ground. Now, if you have more opening here, you can push your hands further away from your knees. If you find that this is really very strong and it doesn't feel very good, then just bring your hands closer towards your knees and find that same movement, but now with less intensity. So it's up to you, finding the space that is good for you. And once you feel here that you've opened up and lengthened a little bit more into the wrists, then stay pushing yourself back and push your palms down in the direction of the ground, finding that nice opening now into the wrists. We're not really used to moving into our wrist, and if you're new to this stretch, it can feel really quite uncomfortable. But just know that it is good to move into. We need to move each part of our body, not only the main joints, but also joints that we don't move or don't think of that often, like the wrists or the knuckles of our fingers. And then slowly release. Keep your toes tucked if that is possible for you, and gently sit onto your toes, allowing the feet here to open up while we're shaking our hands out. Let go of any funny feelings in your wrists. And then bring your hands out in front, working the extensor muscles. So we're opening and closing the hands. Now imagine you have water on your fingers and you squash it out. You splash it into somebody who's just in front of you. So you open and close. The faster you go, the harder it gets. So you don't have to go very fast, but if you want to intensify, you can. Very soon you start to forget about your poor old toes that are being squashed underneath your hips, and you start only to feel your forearms. It's a very strong sensation, a very intense sensation. Just see if you can stay with it. See if you can just accept that for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach your arms high up. On the exhalation, bring your forehead towards your knees. Reach your hands high behind you. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, folding and reaching your hands behind. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. We do that one more time. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding. Inhale, coming back up, finding yourself back into your tabletop position, moving your hips from side to side. And then extending your right leg out, have your toes down onto the ground. Get a nice stretch into the back of the legs. Push the back of the knee up towards the ceiling. You're very welcome to stay here. If you'd like to add on, then you can lift your leg up off the ground, activating more into your core, pushing your belly away from the floor. You can stay here or with your foot onto the ground. You can choose to extend your arm out, your opposite arm. So it's the right leg and the left arm. From here, bring your arm back down. Flex now through your foot, so pull your toes back towards your knee, and then open up into the hip. So the right hip comes on top of your left. Take a deep breath in here. On the exhalation, bring your knee in the direction of your shoulder. Inhale, kick it back out. Toes are still pointing out to the side. So exhale, draw it in. Inhale, kick it out. One more time. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, kick it out. Square your hip off, the toes is turning down towards the floor. Take a deep breath in here, lift your foot up. On the exhale, draw your knee into your chest, round your spine. Inhale, kick it back up and out. Exhale, draw it in. Rounding your spine. Inhale, kick it back out. Exhale, draw it in. And inhale, kick it back out. Keep it there. If you'd like to play around again with your balance, you're very welcome to. Extending out through your left hand. If you want to find more of a challenge here, you can begin to lift your back foot up off the ground as well and see if you can keep your balance. And then releasing down through your foot, both your knees down into your tabletop. Your inhale reaches it up, drops your belly down, lifts your chest. Your exhale is a child's pose. Release it down for a moment. Bring your forehead down onto the ground. Letting go of tension here, finding just some softness before we change sides. Exhaling here fully on the inhalation, bringing yourself back up, lifting up through the chest into your cow pose. On the exhale, find a neutral position. Extend your left leg out, bring your toes down onto the ground. Find that nice stretchy sensation, so push your left knee up in the direction of the ceiling. So you can keep your leg just here, that's perfectly fine, or you can lift your leg up. Finding a little bit of balance, making sure that you draw your belly up. So we're activating slightly into the core so that we're not dipping too much into the lower back and injuring our lower back. You're welcome to stay here, or you can extend this time your right arm out and see if you can balance here. There's a core activation here required to keep your balance. And then slowly release your hand back down. Now turn your left toes out to the left side. Lift your left hip high up on top of your right. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, bring your left knee over to your left shoulder. Inhale, kick it back out. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale out. One more time. Exhale, try to keep your knee and your foot up. Inhale, kick it out. Now square your hips, the toes are going down. Inhale, lift your foot up, lift your chest. Exhale, draw your knee into your chest. Inhale again, kick your foot out and lift it up. Drop your belly. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, kick it out and lift. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, kick it out and lift. And then here again, you're welcome to stay here or lower your foot down, or you can find a balance. And this time you have that option to lift your back foot off the ground and see if you can maintain your balance. Something that's not very easy, but sometimes easy is overrated. So just find your balance as much as you can and then slowly release your hand, your knees down to the ground. This time we push the knees out to the side. We're lengthening through the toes and we're reaching down into our child's pose. Releasing your chest down, release the forehead down onto the ground and just feel here into your body. Bring your focus back to your breath and feel that you can slow your breath down as much as you can. Always being very mindful. If this is uncomfortable in your knees, you're welcome to come into this position, for example, onto your forearms, or you can still extend your arms out and release your chest down in a little bit more of a melted heart position. So just always feel what is good for you. Remembering that the only reason you practice is for yourself. There's nothing that you have to prove. We're just focusing on our connecting to our body, connecting to our breath, and connecting to the focus of our mind. Feel here how the air moves in and out of your body. Feel how you can soften and release. And from here, slowly bring yourself back up, bring your hands out, pushing yourself forward, finding a cat pose just for a moment. A cow pose just for a moment. And then we're bringing the forearms down onto the ground and we're stepping ourselves back and find the Sphinx Pose. So the elbows are underneath the shoulders and the hips are down onto the ground and we're just going to come onto the tops of the feet. From here, we're lifting the crown of the head up as much as possible. Find a nice reach here into the heart space. Feel how you can just lower your hips and your belly down towards the ground. Reaching the crown of the head up, allowing the body to open up. If you feel that this is not strong enough for you, you're very welcome to be onto your hands instead of onto your elbows. Allowing here ourselves to connect to our heart space. So feel into the front of the heart and become aware that you can press your elbows down into the ground and then kind of slide yourself forward to open the chest a little bit more. Take a deep breath in here. On your exhalation, sink yourself down. Now bring your hands down just to the outside edges of the mat, maybe a little bit maybe forward or next to your shoulders, finding a couple of Cobra Lifts. So on the inhalation, lifting up, using a little bit of your fingers and a little bit of the activation into your back. On your exhalation, sink back down. So do that a couple of times. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, down. And again, inhale up. Exhale, down. Inhale, coming up. Now staying here, breathing deep into the chest, releasing tension from the back of the neck and releasing tension into the shoulders. Take a deep breath in. On the exhalation, slowly release yourself down. Bending your legs, maybe finding a bow pose, maybe a half bow, holding on to one foot, or maybe a full bow, holding on to both feet, or just doing the same thing, but this time with your leg bent. So the same as we did in our Cobra. So then you're coming up like this with your legs bent, or you pick up onto one foot or both feet, and you gently kick your feet into your hands, getting a little bit of an opening. You're not looking for too much today, just a little bit of a lift. And exhale, release it down. And inhale again. Kick it up, breathing deeply. Keep on pushing your feet into your hands. And exhale, release it down. One more time. Inhale, open it up. And exhale, slowly release. Bring your hands down on top of each other. Rest your forehead onto your hands and gently move your hips from side to side, releasing any tension that you might have built up into your hip area. And then finding some stillness, just laying down just for a moment, releasing tension in your shoulders. Feel the weight of your whole body sinking down into the earth. And next we're going to do a heart meditation. So take a little bit of time to set yourself up to come into a comfortable position. Maybe that is seated. Maybe you prefer to lay down onto your back with your legs bent or a bolster underneath your knees. Maybe you'd like to sit against a wall. Feel here what is a good position for you. Settling in for a moment, maybe fidgeting and moving a little bit. Feeling what is good. Maybe using a block or a bolster underneath your sitting bones if you're seated. And then there's that point in time where you feel that you're kind of okay. And from that point in time, find some stillness. And once you're seated, for a moment, bring your hands onto your heart space, or when you're laying down, bring your hands onto your heart space. And now direct your gaze, the gaze of your eyes, with your eyes closed, into this heart space. And take a moment here to feel the power of your heart's energy. Become aware of this energy that's there within you. And become aware of the power that it has. And when you get a connection to this power, really feel that you can nourish it. The power of your heart space, the power of your heart energy. Keep your gaze directed into this space. Notice what is there. At any time when you feel that you become distracted, just gently bring your focus back. When you feel ready, release your hands, bring them either down into your lap or onto your knees or your thighs. We'll be adding our cosmic breath. We're going to breathe in, starting from the crown of the head and moving the energy of the breath into the heart space. Then we hold our breath, which is called kumbhaka, holding the breath at the end of the inhalation. And when we breathe out, we chant. We chant the mantra Om Suraye Namaha. Om Surane Yamaha. This is a solar mantra, and it helps to remove any darkness that's there in your heart space. Om Suraye Namaha. So we're breathing in from the crown of the head into the heart space. Then we hold the breath, staying connected to the heart space. Then we breathe out, chanting Om Suraye Namaha. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale fully. Take a deep breath in. Bring the universal energy from the crown of your head down into your heart space. Hold your breath. And exhale. Om Suraye Namaha. Breathing in from the crown of the head down into your heart space. Hold your breath. Exhale. Om Suraye Namaha. Breathing in from the crown of the head into your heart space. Holding your breath. Exhale. Om Suraye Namaha. Breathing in. Hold your breath. Om Suraye Namaha. Breathing in. Hold your breath. Om Suraye Namaha. Take 3 more breaths like this. Breathing in from the crown of the head into the heart space. Holding your breath, kumbhaka. Om Suraye Namaha. Om Suraye Namaha. Hold the breath. Om Suraye Namaha. Slowly releasing your head down, bowing towards your heart, towards your inner teacher. Staying connected to your heart. The heart chakra, the energy that is provided by your heart. Anahata Hold in Sanskrit. Anahata means unstuck or unhurt, meaning that beneath the hurts and the grievances of our past experiences, there is a pure and spiritual place where no hurt exists. When the energy flows in our heart chakra, love and compassion can shine. We will be quick to forgive, and we can accept both ourselves and others. In order for the energy to move freely and to flow, we just have to allow ourselves to feel any hurt that resides in our heart. And we have to feel that fully. And once we've done that, then we can decide to let it go and to move on. We have to feel the hurt that's there. We have to acknowledge it, accept it, so that we can let go. When our heart energy flows, we will feel the power of unconditional love. The unconditional love within, without any judgment. The unconditional love within, through compassion, forgiveness, and acceptance. Slowly bringing your head back up, taking a little bit of time, connecting back into your environment. When you feel ready, maybe find some movement, connecting into your body. If you'd like to stay and sit for a moment longer, or if you'd like to find a Shavasana, where you lay down onto your back at the end of your practice, please feel free to do so. Before you leave your mat, always make sure that you take a moment to just feel inside yourself. Each Shavasana, each end of the practice is this opportunity where you can just connect, where you can connect within, where you can feel what is happening within you. So that when you can come off your mat, you can let go of anything that serves you no longer of a purpose. I'd like to thank you for sharing your practice with me. With love and gratitude. Namaste.